Hi there, Jim. So yeah, game changer. Just scanning you from an old account that I used to have. Yeah, looking interesting. I mean, first thing, it's looking pretty. I think you need to maybe have a little tweak of that. I mean, by bringing all this together, I do get it. I know maybe it's easy to organise or whatever you're thinking, but ultimately what that does is it means the spawn zone now. I'm right on you, mate. I'm going to be like in your base in seconds. I get you've got a couple of good turrets in there. You've got two peacemakers, but the whole idea of these things is spread these zones out, because the other thing is I only need to attack and kill 70% in PvP, but in game you're aiming for 90, 100%, aren't you? Otherwise, obviously the guy still wins. So if you group everything together, it means generally as a rule that you're going to be able to take you down quite quickly. Now, there are some good things that you've got going on here, because I suspect what you're thinking is that somebody's going to take the risk of going for the war factory and the barracks. And if you think, first of all, I thought, well, you know what, I only have to survive a peacemaker and I can take those two. But actually, you've got the second one, which gets overlap, and you don't always pick that up. So I like what you're doing. You could be trying to bait people into attack you from this side, which then means you've got two peacemakers picking you up. So that's quite clever as well. So I like what you're thinking, and I think if you're going for that method, by all means do so. But what I would still do is push people really far out, because I think you're setting a nice trap here, and I like it. I do like it. So I think you want me to spawn about here, but you're not inviting me to spawn there, because I can spawn here and I can spawn here. So if you spread these remaining bases out so that here looks like, Christ, it's miles away, but here looks close. Oh, and you know what, I'm tempted to have a go at that war factory, and don't spend enough time scanning scanning to see if I'm going to get caught out by these peacemakers or not. Then you're going to do some big damage. And with that in mind, also I'd be maybe have an extra mine in this sort of area here as well as that one, just to make sure. Then obviously you're making sure that if they do fall for that trap, it's going to be a bit more painful for them. Maybe the one's a good idea, because then they're more likely to fall for the trap. So yeah, there's lots of little ways of thinking about it, but I think at the moment nobody's going to go for the trap, because why start there when I can start here? You know what I mean? I'm outside. Well, you know what? I'm going to get hit by one peacemaker. Certainly not going to get hit by the second one, and I'm going to be out of range of the heavy gun, and I can take your war factory by allowing me to have that zone there. If you got rid of all those zones and pushed me out far out here, then the things like the tank and stuff are going to get a chance to spawn. But remember, my thoughts always, how can I get that war factory first bat. Flak's looking good. You've got two in there. I'm liking that. You've got a railgun in there. Not my cup of tea, but I get it. I do like why people use them. But again, most of the stuff I'm going to attack you with is going to outrange that railgun. If I came here with M270s, I'm going to take the railgun for fun. So yeah, some interesting. I like what you're thinking, and I bet you've attacked a base very similar to this and thought, bloody hell, this is going to be a doddle, and then realise you've been smashed a bit. So I know why you're doing it. It just needs a little bit more work to make it absolutely perfect. I mean, you could even bring these walls in. Why your walls need to be that far out, I'm not quite sure. You could bring those in a little bit, and maybe get, I say, a couple of buildings out on that sort of perimeter, so that the spawn zone stays where it is. You know what I mean? But ultimately, yeah, get this spread further out. Hopefully, this helps with being able to see what I can see. But yeah, technique-wise, I think you're getting there. Still have a little think about what you've got in here. I'm not quite sure what troops they are when you look at them, but make sure you've got mortarmen in there at this stage. If you've got anything stronger than mortarmen, then certainly do so. Force recon and the Moors are certainly a force to reckon with. The Moors actually work really well. If you're not careful, they can cause the opponent quite a bit of destruction. But you know what, mate? I'm liking it. I think you're on the right track, or potential right track. I think you just need to spread those buildings out just to maximise it. Cheers, bro.